What up, Chase Divine? Yo, this is a great, interesting topic, right? My thing is this, like, there are different types of attachments, right? We have healthy attachments and we have those unhealthy attachments. I want to share something with you. Some people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? We was talking about that a little bit earlier. And to me, that means to me like don't hold temporary people, temporary places, temporary roles, or temporary experiences as if they are permanent assignments. Woo, boy. Woo, right? Don't hold temporary people, temporary places, temporary roles, or temporary experiences as if they were permanent assignments. That's dig deep in that right there, right? The first thing is first, like, how do you identify someone who is temporary in your life? And it could be different for others, right? How do you identify a place that is temporary for you, right? And it's like a shelter, right? A shelter is a temporary living space. It's not meant to be your home. It's transitional, right? Maybe when you go vacation, you go to that Airbnb, you know what I mean? Temporary, right? You go on that cruise, temporary. And yes, there's cruises that's lifelong cruises, I get it, you know. But we talking about temporary. How do you identify? So the same way we identify temporary places, right? Maybe we should take those notions and identify them also with temporary places too. Because I think that's the thing is this, like when we get into temporary places, right? I think that we may get comfortable and then we decide to change the name or the frequency, the energy of this temporary place, and now we making it from temporary place to permanent, right? Same thing with people, right? How do you identify someone who comes into your life and then you identify them as being temporary? Like that take a lot of work to get to know who you are, what you about, and your core values. You know what I mean? Where else? What else? I had to write these notes down. Where we at? Oh, temporary roles, right? You know, anybody ever work for a temp agency? Like they tell you up front, this ain't it for everything. This ain't it for everything. You know what I mean? Temporary experiences. Right? I need to dig deeper into that. And I think that we need to be more observant, right? And observant in this, like some connections are here to teach, some are here to awaken, support, challenge, redirect, right? Some connections are here to redirect you. Come on, somebody, right? Or reveal something. But you gotta be observant. You know what I mean? But not every connection is meant to stay forever. Now, there is some forever connections, right? I do believe that. There are some forever connections, but the thing is, we can't misidentify them. I think we've been misidentifying forever connections, right? That's what I think, you know? And it's a learning process, so it's not something that you need to beat yourself up on. I'm not talking to you specifically, Chase. I'm just having a conversation, you know what I mean? But I think that we go through trials and tribulations because maybe we don't know and never been taught how to identify a connection that's supposed to be a forever connection, right? Or a temporary connection. You get what I'm saying? Going deeper into attachment, attachment to me in this context is the emotional bond, dependency, or inner connection, okay? You form between a person, a place, a thing, an identity, an outcome, or a season. And we're moving into this conversation right here, healthy and unhealthy attachments. Attachments become unhealthy when your peace, somebody say peace, peace, right? When your peace, your identity, your worth, okay, or direction depends on keeping that thing close. That's where attachment becomes unhealthy. Let me say it again. Attachment becomes unhealthy when your peace, your identity, your worth, your direction becomes dependent on keeping that thing, that person close. Okay? And it may sound something like this. Okay? I need this person to stay so I can feel okay. If this ends, I'm gonna lose myself. I know this is hurting me, but I can't let it go. I can't release it. This season is over, but I'm gonna keep on trying to revive it. I'm gonna bring us back to where we once was. And hopefully we get there. And I'm not talking about fighting for your relationship, but I'm talking about when the signs is up, the signs is up. You know what I mean? You gotta ask yourself, is this love or dependency? Because what I just said was dependency. All attachment is not bad. It's not wrong. That's moving to healthy attachment, right? Healthy attachment is a natural thing. Somebody say natural thing. We are humans here, right? We're spiritual people, in my opinion, living in a human environment, right? We are experiencing in this human body, point blank, period, right? And us being human, we are relational, right? Hence social media, right? Hence having friends and relationships. Like we supposed to, this is what we are naturally. We connectors. I like connecting with people. Humans like connecting with other humans, right? For the most part, okay? This is our natural thing. We're meant to connect. We're meant to bond. We're meant to love. We're meant to trust. We're meant to build. Like, you know, I think that a lot of us go through things and our trauma and triggers kind of push us from our natural instincts as human to connect, right? To love because we've been hurt and we're not healed from the last one and we scared. Like that fear real that it's going to happen again because you don't put your all into something. And now you're like, I don't want to give nobody no chances because I want to protect myself. And I get that, right? But it's all about identifying those healthy and non-healthy or unhealthy connections. You dig what I'm saying? A healthy attachment looks and sounds like this. Listen, I care about you. I value this thing that we got going on. I'm here. I'm present with us. You know what I mean? This connection means a lot to me, but I will not abandon myself to keep this. You know, and this is no shade or nothing like that. You see that squirrel right there? Unhealthy, bro. But that's natural for them to do. Anyway, you know what I mean? So I just want to let you know, like, I'm not going to abandon myself or bring my self-worth down for this relationship. And to get closer to the root cause of, I know I'm jumping around, negative versus, not negative, but unhealthy versus healthy attachment is, I think it comes to the possessiveness, right? The possessiveness in the mindset, right? The fearful attachment, the possessive attachment, right? The identity-based attachment. When I say that, like, you feel like your identity is shaped and formed based upon your relationship or attachment with that person. You dig what I'm saying? Your fear is based upon that person being here or not being here. And when I say person, I want you to, switch that up with whatever it is. It could be a place, it could be a person, right? It could be a season. You know what I mean? It's the possessive attachment, the fearful attachment, the identity-based attachment. I think that's what it is. We get attached for a multitude of reasons, you know what I mean? And we get attached because we feel comfortable. We are validated. Our identity is shaped or formed around that individual. Something feels familiar, safe, exciting, purposeful. You feel like you belong. So when that leaves is a form of grieving, right? And we start grieving that in different ways. And we're not grieving the person, but we're grieving the representation what that thing, that relationship, that attachment brought to us. Sometimes you're not even attached to the person. You attached to how they made you feel. Part 2 coming up right after this.